Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have changed the complete drive system. Like the way the belt is routed has completely been altered. So much more belt wrap now. So much more. Take a look. Now, before, the belt used to come straight down here. There was a small pulley here which made it come in just a little bit. And then for the most part it was a straight run down to here. So you can see this crank lays way over here now. It used to come up at this angle. So we've gotten this much more belt wrap. It went from almost 50% to a good 70%. I mean, you can see that thing is tight now because the belt comes up right there, really close. We're really close here. The tensioner still works like it used to, where I push it this way to tighten against there. You can see we've got plenty of crank wrap. The only way I could get any more on that is if I put another pulley here, and that wouldn't even get us much, that much more. We could get another 5 degrees maybe. The original way that I did this was I saved room for the intake to go through the middle. So I just had to make sure that there was enough room between, in this area. Well, now I still have the same amount. The intake can still go here and come in, and I should clear just fine. So hopefully we see 14, maybe even 15 PSI now.
Finished my drinks, the room is spinning. Oh girl, you look so good, I just wish I could. Those Long Island iced teas, they got me ready and willing. Push it up on me, the way you move, I know you feel it. Half that ass in out them jeans, looking like a girl in a magazine. Smooth girl, sexy, silken king, look good enough to make me scream. I wanna cry with a fresh girl. To the next girl, from the right to the left, moving on to the next, till there ain't none left. I wanna cry with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. She got a body like who that is, twerking that thing and look at her lips. I slide to the left, you move to the right. Oh babe, I'm out of sight, we might grind again tonight. The new girl can't grind like you did, I'm ready to slide again. Back to you, so push it up the way you do. Half that ass and out them jeans, looking like a girl in a magazine. Smooth girl, sexy, silken king, look good enough to make me scream. I wanna cry with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. From the right to the left, moving on to the next, till there ain't none left. I wanna cry with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. She got a body like who that is, twerking that thing and look at her lips. Finish up the bottle in my room in the Ramada, cause the more that I be drinking, girl, you know you're getting hotter. By the time I reach the end, you gon' be a perfect 10. Back that up, let's grind again. I wanna grind with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. From the right to the left, moving on to the next, till there ain't none left. I wanna grind with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. She got a body like who that is, twerking that thing and lick at her lips. I wanna grind with a fresh girl, so keep it hot to the next girl. From the right to the left.
So the first part of version 2.0 on this is these are getting sent out and they're going to get a carbonite coating on it, which from what I've seen of the process, it looks like they TIG weld and somehow put bits of titanium all over in the grooves. Like you'll watch them and it looks like they're TIG welding with no filler rod and just going, and they go along each rib, and by the time they're done, it basically looks like it's made of 35 grit sandpaper, and it doesn't wear away. So that should last. That should make it completely slip free, especially with all these in there. And then I should be able to run any kind of belt I want, just, a cheap one, just whatever fits, what I can get a hold of. and not have all these slip issues, because I've seen 14.3 psi on this, but most of the time I see about 11.5. Tired of it. When we come back to this, we're gonna see if we can get the intercooler to fit over there, and then I might mock a couple of pipes up. This inlet has to come off, and I need to rebuild the bypass valve. I have everything for that, including a bearing puller kit for the needle bearings.
Get away this time. No more saying one more time. To hurt my heart should be ground. This time it's your turn to crash. Line by line, becoming clear. What I soon say will break your ears. Rehearse this like a mountain ride. Now's the time to break your heart. You don't know me, you don't know what it's like to be with you. You don't care that it's not fair to have to agree with you. You're not me, you don't see what it's like to be with you. It's all about you, everything's just you.
That I can get on board with. See how the headlight fits back in here this way, because I don't think it's gonna. It hits here, so let's see what happens if we lose this. If we lose the whole cover on the headlight, everything that covers this up, it fits. So I think what we're gonna have to do is get something that's more like this, I mean, this is a plastic that came on the end of a turbo, but something that's a bigger, like a rubber coupler end type of deal, something that's like this but larger, and silicone. And then maybe we can just pop that on there, or at least I can put like a black rubber glove over that and zip tie it just to keep the moisture out of there. But it is tight as hell, but this does fit. The back of the actual headlight plug is about a 1/4 inch away from the intercooler right here. I will have to get another half a turn out of the plumbing on this, because right now it's facing that way, and I'm going to need it to come around this way to get to this, And this is going to be great because now instead of these facing that way and then going over there, they're going to face this way and actually go over there. So one of them will be able to come up right through here and come up around. I'll have to route it over around the oil fill cap, or maybe it'll be a pain in the ass to get to. And then the other one will go underneath to right here. It's currently facing this way, and I need it to be about like this. So a little more than a half a turn should be good for that. But this fits here. I'm gonna have to do up a bracket. I'll have to weld something in or bolt it to the subframe that comes up to a bolt here. And there's also another mounting point on it at the bottom here. So we'll see what we can do back there. Although I'm just noticing now how close this is, like just because it fits in there doesn't mean that's going to work. Because even with the tight 90s I got, that's really tight. Well, I'm going to go get a 90 from the house and see what it's going to take to fit a 90 here. I cut this plastic piece off of here on the fan. That might give me what I need. Now it hits a bracket on the headlight, this little piece. But I think if I take that off and hug this just a little closer, it's almost like the little bevel here in the corner of the tank is like almost made so that you could spin the oil cap to get it off. So I think that's gonna work. I'm just gonna have to trim this headlight up a little bit. I'm gonna have to take this piece off. It's really close. All right, guys, we're back. I did a little without you. Sorry about that. Is what it is. I've got this propped up in here with some paper towels spacing it between like the headlight harness and things, so I know I had enough clearance. I've got this bracket that I've made up, which is just a stock bracket from something that I shaved enough away to give me clearance for this and to get down to here. The plan now I've just marked right where this is going to get welded, right along here. And I'm going to go ahead and take some paint off of that, get this propped back up in the optimum position where I like the clearance on both elbows here and here. And then we'll get that welded into place, get some paint on it, move on to the next mount. Alright guys, we're back. I've got a mount down here that fits up against the frame pretty nicely. I originally had this the other way, but I really like how straight I can make this pipe if I locate it this way. I also really like how it hugs the fuse box, and I really like the open space right here as opposed to filling out all of this and using that outlet over here. So all in all, you know, I figure if I'm going to do this, let's do it. I've been talking about doing it for a while. So I've got one mount right here. Drill a couple of holes in that. And then put some nut certs in the frame. Alright guys, so I got one bolted in here. It still needs a second hole drilled on it, so it's still somewhat mobile. And I'm about to weld in one down at the bottom. Alright guys, we got the headlight out of here again. I've got this bracket here welded on. We've got one that goes down to here. I gotta finish drilling the hole for that and put a nut cert in it. And the third mount is gonna go between this tab here for the fender. Man, big part of me wants to just get rid of that. But we also have this area right down here that's actually still hitting the intercooler, so I'm gonna have to bash that a little bit. That's pretty sturdy. Damn, I did it. Let's see if the headlight fits. Wait. God damn, not bad. Let's see if the hood closes too. So. Alright guys, so I just checked with the hood closed, and the hood is about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches above this, so there's plenty of clearance everywhere here. So that is, damn, that's where she's gonna go. I like it. We got our new rad hose in here. So now what our intake needs to do is it needs to come in here and in through there. We are going to have our fan that we're going to have to battle a little bit. And I do want to, now that this is all, there we go. Now I can bend the brackets and tweak everything and get a little bit more. Because I do want to get this away from the headlight as much as possible while still maintaining room between the oil fill, which I may try to heat that with a heat gun and see if I can't move it like a 1/4 inch this way, because that would help a lot, to see if it'll fit with that. Yeah, no, not with that. Maybe without it. We are on the headlight. It's not like it hits the housing a little, like it's hitting the bulb right here, the very corner of it. Like it's closer than before. Before I couldn't even get the holes like this close to each other, and now they're like that. I mean, now it went from like pushing on it to like just barely touching it. So when it runs, it's gonna sit there like and just vibrate on it. I'd really like to get at least like a millimeter of play out of it. Alright, we're good. We're good. I got a gap about this big on the headlight and a gap the same size right here on this. We don't have much of a gap on that fuse box, but I might just have to trim the very corner of the box right here.